Hey, what's up, everybody? Andrew from Fantasy Aid here to give you Tap the Wire Week 3. Another great week, another 5 players to look at adding to your fantasy baseball. Zack Cozart, the Cincinnati Reds shortstop. He's currently 13% owned in Yahoo, and he's off to a blistering start. He's recorded a hit in every game played so far, and he has 5 multi-hit games on the young season. He was a usable shortstop last year where he hit around 18 homers. And he credits the change to a batting style where he lays his bat down on his shoulder now. It keeps him more relaxed, more focused on the pitch. Obviously, fantasy-wise, the biggest issue with Cozart is the crowded shortstop position, but he definitely should be owned in more than 13% of leagues. I just recently picked him up off the wire in a 20-team league, and I think in 16 teams and beyond, he's a must-own. And if you're a 14-team league and you got a weak shortstop, he's a guy to look at. He'll give you decent stats. He won't hit over 300 for the season, but even if you're not picking up for the whole season, just ride out this hot streak that Cozart's got going right now. Number 2 is Tony Barnett, Texas Rangers reliever. It's another week, another Texas reliever on the list. And, I'm sure you've heard about the Matt Bush injury. It looks like Sam Dyson is out. And Tony Barnett was warming up for a save before the Rangers put their lead beyond 3 runs. If they're not putting Matt Bush on the DL right now, but if that injury seems to go south, it looks like Barnett will be the next runner-up. So again, that's something very key to look at. You need to pay attention to the Matt Bush and his health. If he seems fine with the injury, I think he will be the closer. But if they have to put on the DL, Tony Barnett might take the closing role. It looks like Jeremy Jeffress is not even in the mix for that, so he's not even worth picking up. Of course, at number 3, we have Joe Panik, the Giants second baseman. He's 19% owned in Yahoo right now. And do you remember Joe Panik? He was very useful in 2015 when he hit 312 in 100 games for the Giants. Of course, he's not a power hitter, but his doubles and runs make up for it. And there's a couple of slow starters at second base right now. And injuries, too. You have Kipnis on the DL. Devin Travis has started off really slow. So I'm sure some of you could use a second baseman off the wire until your guys you drafted start to pick it up. Panik had a down year last year. He hit 239, which is partly why people kind of forgot about him, especially going into the draft season this year. But Panik is a career 288 hitter, even with that 239 in 2016. He's going to hit above 300 probably for the season, and he makes a very decent shortstop. Second base, rather. Number 4 is Brett Anderson, who's 6% owned right now. Anderson is a starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, and he's off to a decent start. He's gotten 1 win with a .84 ERA. His whip's never going to be too low just because he's Brett Anderson. But, he's not going to keep the ERA this close either. But he's on the Cubs, and that means he should be able to get some wins for your pitching. I know some of my teams have been struggling to get some wins with some of my aces. So if he can keep his ERA under 3.75 for the season, he should definitely be a quality back-end pitcher for your rotation. And obviously the biggest thing is his injury history. He's only pitched a full season once since 2011. But until the inevitable happens, it's definitely worth picking up Anderson and riding him, try to get this win, especially in Roto. Again, his whip's not going to be great. He will give up runs sometimes, but I think he's worth a look at. And number 5 is Travis Denard, the Mets catching, and he's another injury-prone player, but he's off to a really hot start for the Mets this season. He's hit 2 homers and 27 at-bats, walked 4 times to 5 strikeouts, and, he's got 704 slugging so far, and it goes without saying, the catching position sucks. And Denard is the perfect guy to pick up off the wire. You waited until the end of the draft, and then you picked up a guy. But you might drop that lower-end catcher for Denard. Of course, the injury history is risky, but this is his age 28 season. It could be the year he finally lives up to his former prospect hype. Again, it's super early. I'm not saying he's going to break out, but, 30%, he should be more close to 70 or 80% just because of the catching landscape. So definitely take a look at him. You can ask me questions on Twitter, trades, etc. on Twitter at FantasyAbe1. And I also write stuff on Twitter fairly semi-regularly. I'm trying to use it a little bit more. And of course, I also have my email, fantasyabe1@gmail.com. For Fantasy Aid, I'm Andrew, and thanks for watching.